Is it live? And we're live. First live on the new YouTube channel. Watching Beterbiev versus Bivol. Right now it's Adames versus Shiraz. Carlos Adames versus Hamza Shiraz. Was on YouTube with the other fights, but as always, YouTube playing games. Or TikTok playing games, not YouTube. Love YouTube. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Where'd that other thing go? My parlay needs Shiraz. I saw a lot of people rooting for Adames. Put this here. And Adames is doing some work so far. I missed a little bit of the fight. Well, let's see. I mean, they're talking like Adames is winning. I know Shiraz was a sizable favorite coming into the fight. Both guys trading jabs. They're showing Bivol arriving to the arena. Just got to do more. I don't know. I feel like he did enough in the first fight. The first fight was close. Beterbiev is 40? I didn't know that. 40 is not a good age to be fighting. Especially at a lower weight class where you need speed. I mean, the announcers are saying the fight is going in Adames' favor. which does not help my parlay. After this fight is Stevenson versus Padley. Oh, Adamas just landed a good right hand. He's got Shiraz in trouble. All right, Shiraz circles off the ropes, gets back out into the middle of the ring. Shiraz answers back with a big right hand. Knock it off, Joe. So yeah, Adames is winning this fight so far. Nice right hand. Shiraz having trouble getting out of the way of the right hand of Adames. He landed one shot that round, but nothing significant. Round 9. 52-30. They have Adames outlanding Shiraz. Shiraz got to get to work. He's fucking up my parlay right now. That's what happens, though, when you argue with trolls. They report you. Adames right now is beating Shiraz. Round 10. He's definitely up on the scorecards. Frank. Yeah, the crowd's definitely for Shiraz, but he's getting fucked up so far. What's up, Jay's Vids? How are you today? Watching Adames versus Shiraz right now on the Bivol Beterbiev undercard. So far, Adames is winning this fight pretty handedly. Big fan of what, Jay's Vids? Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. What are you guys doing with your Saturday? You know, I stay watching fights, so today's a big fight day. There's boxing on, and then there's some MMA later. I think the MMA starts at 6. Oh, hold on. All right, yeah, that's working. Adama showed up today, though. Shiraz kind of laying an egg. Round 11, I think Adames is clearly ahead. I mean, Shiraz is doing his best work now. It might be a little too late. Oh, man, Wake Forest got fucked up. Oh, Shiraz is coming on now, though. Shiraz is coming on now. He's got 2 rounds to work. Oh, Adames has a good right hand. Adames is looking the tired, more fatigued of the two, though. Yeah, he's definitely got to go for broke right now. What's up, guys? What are you guys doing with your Saturday? Anybody watching the boxing fights right now? Adames is about to upset Shiraz. I mean, this has been Shiraz's best round, round 11. He waited a little bit too long, though, to get going. 25 seconds left. He'll take this round, but he didn't take much earlier rounds. But we've had some interesting scorecards tonight. I could see the judges giving it to Shiraz simply because it seems like the Sheik a la Turk is cheering for Shiraz. You know, and that dude, I'm sure it's like give him the decision or off with your fucking head, throw you into a dungeon and whip you. Adames had some moments, but that was Shiraz's round. I mean, my parlay could use a corrupt decision. That's for sure. Yeah, just like they said, Shiraz is the house fighter. This is a home fight for him, so we might get some interesting scorecards on this one. I mean, their judge, Chris Mannix, has it 106, 103 for Adames, so it's close enough in the realm of crooked judges. It is in the realm of crooked judges. You know, what time is it? 4 o'clock? Oh, so they all run a little bit behind because I know that they said that the Shakur fight was going to be at 3:30. Oh, good shots by Adames. It's going to be interesting to see the scorecards. I mean, it's close enough. We could see a corrupt decision right here. I think Adames clearly won, but it looks like the Sheik, Ala Turkey, and all of his friends are sitting cage side. They're not happy with the way that fight played out, so they might give the judges the look of score it how I say or off with your fucking head. Let's see. I've seen worse decisions. What? One of the commentators is saying he thought Shiraz won. I do not think Shiraz won that fight. That was like 8-4. Let's see what the judges say, though. Sean Porter thinks Araz won that fight. Shiraz won that fight. I disagree. Oh, wow. A split. 115, 114 Shiraz. 118, 110 is an accurate scorecard. Wow. A draw. They just fucked Dames right there. That fight was 118, 110. That was the scorecard for that fight. Maybe 116, 112. Definitely not a draw. Definitely not a draw. That was terrible. I told you, though, Shiraz was the hometown guy, as well as you saw the guy putting on the event, Sheik a la Turkey, the whole fight rooting for Shiraz. That was some bullshit. But keeps my parlay alive, so can't be too mad at it. Can't be too mad. But that was fucking terrible. That's a robbery right there. Shiraz got a gift. Adames got robbed. He still keeps his title, so at least he didn't lose his belt, but that was bullshit. Shakur Stevenson versus Josh Padley. Up next. We'll see how this one goes. I'm going to use the men's room. Damn, the trolls got me today. You know, I got out trolled today by the trolls on TikTok. Simply because they reported me. Never in my life have I or will I ever report someone. Like, that's got to be the most bitch, the most bitch move in history. Is going out of your way to click report and report alive. That's like your mom's a hoe. You're a pussy. Soft. This generation, this world. I've never dialed 911. I'll never fucking report someone. I remember one time people were robbing my neighbor's car and I didn't call the cops. My girlfriend at the time did. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, don't ever call the cops. We don't call cops in this household. Never. I'm not reporting shit. That's the definitive bitch move. Any type of reporting. Padley on his way out to the ring. Hopefully, he brings the fight to Shakur Stevenson. $40-1. Let me see. This guy came out to the Lion King. Loved that movie when I was like 6. All the more reason for me to root against Shakur Stevenson. Coming out to I Just Can't Wait to Be King. Goofball. But yeah, the trolls got me earlier. The trolls got me off of TikTok today. The trolls got me. They got me fucked up. I've appealed the decision on TikTok, but I'm waiting. Sometimes it takes 5 minutes, sometimes it takes like an hour. Sometimes it takes days. So we got Padley versus Stevenson, both getting announced right now. Rooting Padley. Not rooting for Stevenson, but Padley's probably getting fucked up here. Hopefully this is his Rocky Balboa moment. Definitely some shitty judges tonight, though. But Sheik a la Turkey, I'm sure, is all on the side of Shakur Stevenson. Damn, can't believe Wake Forest 19-7 losing to a 10-16 team today. That's terrible. Eight 17385. You know, he's a minus 4,000 favorite, but Padley's only a plus 1,500 underdog. But you throw $5 on him, see what happens. Make the fight more entertaining. But I imagine Padley's about to get fucked up. I mean, he's 15-0. Anuj Shahan, me. Interesting. So I mean, he's 15-0, but not the same experience as Shakur. But he's undefeated, so he don't know how to lose yet. Hopefully, he fights like it. 21% of the fans think that he's gonna win. I don't know. Like I said, I threw $5 on him. We're watching Beterbiev versus Bivol. Right now, it's Shakur Stevenson versus Josh Padley. Boxing. What are you doing with your Saturday? It's a day of boxing and MMA. MMA starts at 6. So I'll be doing the double because I'm sure there'll still be boxing. Beterbiev versus Bivol is supposed to start at 6. Wake and bake. I like that. I used to be a big smoker. I cut back though. I started, you know what? I don't know if you've ever seen it, but sometimes, like a lifelong smoker, sometimes you start getting anxiety from it. So I turned into that smoker. Never in my life. What is BBB? But yeah, I used to be a big proponent of the wake and bake. I was a very high functioning pothead. And then, yeah, one day I just woke up, started smoking, started getting anxiety. Never had it my whole life. Started at like 37. I was a heavy smoker. I was like a Diaz brother. I used to smoke before training. I used to smoke before work. I used to smoke before everything. Used to take smoke breaks. I used to smoke at work. And then, yeah, one day, just couldn't smoke no more like that. And then I started smoking less, but it's just never came back to me. I'm sure I'll pick it back up once again. I had stopped one other time for like 6 months years ago and then found it again. But yeah, I love potheads. I love people that smoke. Nice right hand from Padley. Padley didn't get the memo that he's not supposed to win this fight. Old solar panels Padley. I started smoking at like 13 and I smoked until like 37, 38. With like only time I ever took a break was like 6 months. I used to smoke every morning and I would go train with some of the best fighters in the world, blown out of my face. Then if I didn't smoke, I kind of like would if I didn't smoke, I'd be like I don't really know if I know how to do this stuff. Like I only knew how to do it stone. You ever see Half Baked when he's like Scarface was kind of a hyper guy for a pothead? That was me. Me not on the pot, I was kind of a dick. Give me a little pot, and I want to talk about fighting, food, relax. Not on the pot, kind of a dick. But yeah, one day just started getting like, you know, crazy anxiety when I would smoke. Had to take a step back, started smoking less and less, and then it just slowly morphed into I don't really smoke. I mean, I always have bud, like I have weed right now. I could smoke, but just haven't smoked. I haven't smoked in a few weeks. Used to smoke a lot before the gym. I just used to get anxiety. You know how it is. Or maybe some people never have it happen to them. Uh, David Goggins can't fight. I appreciate his whole shtick, and I know you just got to tough your way through stuff, but David Goggins can't fight. I would knock the shit out of David Goggins. Maybe he has some military shit where he's going to grab my throat or something, but I don't know about that. But I do like what his message is. Like, if you're running cardio, all that, a lot of that shit, unless you have like pain and you're completely fucked up, but a lot of that shit's mental. Knowing how to breathe. But yeah, I don't think David Goggins is David Goggins support weed. I don't know if David Goggins would support potheads like I support potheads. I'm not doubting him. I just have seen his capabilities in combat. He's not a fighter. Probably handle a gun, but he's not a fighter. If you saw when he cornered Tony Ferguson, when shit started getting real for Tony Ferguson, David Goggins was completely fucking lost. He looked like a deer in headlights, and he was like, "Oh my god, like this is what fighting's like. Holy shit!" And then he had a beef with Sean Strickland, where if Sean Strickland caught wind of me tomorrow and was like, "You're not a man, come spar me," I would go spar Sean Strickland. David Goggins never even fucking answered him or acknowledged him. Let him say you're a pussy and talk shit on him. Again, I have respect for David Goggins for what he's capable of and the message that he puts out. I love that. And the fact that he could run for days is fucking amazing. But guy can't fight. But again, love the message. I love the message from a lot of those guys that are like life coaches or what is it? Is it the red pill community? Yeah, but what are we talking about? Smoking weed? Can't get hard if you have fucking anxiety from smoking weed. You know, I had to not smoke so I could stay hard and stay training and stay coming back. I started getting anxiety from smoking to the point where it was like I had to curl in my bed and wait till it passed. But that is the only thing I can do still. Like I can't smoke and chill. I could smoke and go to the gym. I could smoke and go do rounds on the bag. I didn't know that, but that's funny that Patty went to David Goggins and asked him who's going to carry the boats now. Yeah, like I've never seen a corner man look more scared or lost than David Goggins in Tony Ferguson's corner. You know, and then it's like, what is he going to say to him when he's getting punched in the face? Come on, man, get hard. You got to be harder than that. It's like, dude, tell me some technical advice. Tell me how to get out of the way of the fucking punch or something technical I could do. Not get hard. Not that I got to be hard. But again, if you're going running or you are going through a workout or you're going through something in life, absolutely David Goggins is a good messenger. And I watch David Goggins shit when it comes across my feed. I'll have some David Goggins shit motivate me, but guy can't fight. You know, like an Andrew Tate might say some crazy shit, but guy can fight. Guy was a legit kickboxer. You know, like that level of kickboxing, like ISKA, WKA, a lot of world renowned kickboxers held those titles. It's not. Shakur's picking it up. There are realms when it's not legit, and you're like, these guys kind of suck. But then there's also realms where it's like the best kickboxers in the world are fighting for those belts. Exactly, Anuj. That's what I've had sometimes. Is my heart's going to explode. I get it. I would get it. Not so much kickboxing. I would get it swimming. You know, starting to think like, oh shit, I'm fucking going too hard right now. But if I do smoke, that's what I do. I have to go to the gym. Yeah, TikTok got me blocked right now. They stay fucking with me. I appealed. I'm waiting for my access to get restored, but could be 20 minutes, could be an hour, could be days. Always playing games, TikTok. Someone reported me. One of the trolls that were in the chat reported me. But yeah, again, I'm all for smoking. I'm a proponent of the pot. No cigarettes though. Cigarettes are for losers. Cigarettes are for losers and skanky chicks. And I'm not against skanky chicks either. I love skanky chicks, but cigarettes are no good for you. You know, you get those people like, oh, I only smoke cigarettes when I drink. So you're a fucking loser when you drink? Like, what are you doing here? Cigarettes are never the answer. Smoke a cigar with weed in it. Don't smoke cigarettes. And even that, I was a blunt smoker. Blunt smoker for like 30 years, 25 years. And I used to have cardio. I used to go with some of the best guys in the world in the gym every day. High as a kite. My one friend used to always say that I smelled like cigarettes all the time. And I'd be like, it's blunts. It's not cigarettes. It's blunts. He didn't remember, I guess, even what blunts smelled like because he would always smoke like vapes or bowls. And he'd always say I smelled like cigarettes. I used to get so pissed at that. Like, I don't fucking smoke cigarettes. I smoke blunts. Nothing but blunts. You know, some people would critique the size of my blunts, but I'm not trying to smoke cannons to the head. If I'm smoking a blunt to be passed around with 10 people, 5 people, sure, I'll roll a bigger blunt. But I used to smoke little blunts. Matt Fravola, UFC fighter, used to always say, Stan and his mini blunts. Stan and his mini blunts. He would smoke them, but he would always make fun of me for my mini blunts. Oh, a lot. I used to start smoking probably at least anywhere from like 5 to 8 a day. Probably more some days. But yeah, I used to just smoke blunts. So I used to have a podcast. I used to do a lot of editing and audio and clip editing, and I used to just that would be my routine. Would just be smoking. I'm a carpenter by trade. I would always be on job sites. I'd be the boss, so nobody would tell me I can't smoke. I would be smoking. I would tell homeowners I smoke. I'm going to be smoking on the job. I won't smoke in your house, but is what it is. Always had crews that smoked blunts. You got to always have a blunt roller, someone to keep the blunts flowing. Everyone's different though. There's some people that can smoke and be productive, like myself, or at least the way I used to be, and then there's other people that smoke and they're just done. Their eyes are shot, their brain is shot, their coordination is off. I used to smoke and get focused and like be able to get tunnel vision. I mean, Padley's in this fight. He's losing, but he's in it. All right, how many blunts are you smoking a day? I'm just gonna pop, see if they let me back on yet. Nope, no answer to my appeal yet. Two to three a day is not bad, but yeah, you smoke a lot of blunts. Lot of blunts. Too many. I think back sometimes and I'm like, I don't even know how the fuck I did that. But I started young, you know. Weed was my coffee. Weed was my daily multivitamin. Yeah, I used to smoke a lot. And then one day, just started smoking and it just gave me anxiety. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And then even I would try to work out and it would still wouldn't work. And I'd be like, what the fuck's going on? I'm still having anxiety. But yeah, it happens to a lot of people. Like I had my brother-in-law that happened to, where he used to smoke. And then one day he just couldn't smoke anymore. Shit started giving him anxiety. You're not the first. I'm not the first. And again, I'll always go back to it. Like if I'm out, I really, since I moved upstate, worst place ever, upstate New York, I really cut back on drinking. Not that I ever had a problem or anything, but I drank like once in the last like 2 years. But whenever I was drinking, if I'm out at a club or something, someone passes me a blunt, give me that blunt. Let me hit that blunt. I used to live in Miami, or I used to live in Fort Lauderdale, but right near Miami. I used to go to Club Space, and I used to roll like 12 blunts, and then go into Club Space and just chain smoke blunts all night. Eat a couple of shrooms, go enjoy the music, and just chain smoke blunts. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with a little marijuana. You know, you get people that are all high and mighty and try to shit on it, but fuck them. Fuck those people. Fuck those people. You know, whenever I travel, I'll always try to find a weed source in the new place I'm in just to have it. Smoke a little bit. Yeah, when I was younger, my height of my training, if you will, couldn't function without the za. Like I used to joke and be like, I mean, I'm okay without it, but give me a blunt, fucking high level black belt. Really used to make me a lot freer. Striking, wrestling, everything. A little bit of weed. And then yeah, always on job sites, I was always stoned. It actually helped me with thinking, with math, all that type of shit. But yeah, one day it just started giving me anxiety. You know what it was though too? I got into a car accident and I have so many things fucked up with me now that I got rear-ended by a migrant and another person, but and like fucked up my shoulders, my neck, my back, my wrist, a lot of my shit. So now when I do smoke, I almost get like where it used to be a pain reliever or something that calmed me down. Now it almost like my brain starts zoning in on all the things that are fucked up and I get anxiety from it. You know, your brain plays fucking tricks on you with shit like that too. But I forget what stand-up comedian said it, and it's really funny. It's like, you know, you overdose on other drugs or anything, and it's like all these things that got to be done. You got to be hospitalized. You need Narcan and blah blah blah. If you overdose on weed, you literally need food or sleep. That's the cure for it. Is food. Just eat some food, and you'll come down. Trying to find some good college basketball games to throw some shekels on. Fucking Wake Forest got me today. Sons of bitches. I mean, Padley's in this fight. He's making a Shakur Stevenson fight more entertaining. There's some good UFC on today. There's a handful of good fights on this card. I mean, it's not a bad card. Next week is the worst card I've ever seen. But this card tonight's pretty good. There's some good ones. Those fights start at 6. So I'll be double dipping a little bit, watching some boxing, watching some UFC. I don't know if they will even let me adjust my title, but I might have to. No, I don't want retouch. Yeah, so I don't know. I might have to at some point restart my live just to adjust the title that I'm watching UFC and boxing, but some good fights. Henry Cejudo's always a good watch. At one point, Henry Cejudo could have been on the Mount Rushmore of MMA if he would have just stayed retired. He fucked himself by coming back. I mean, Shakur's doing some good work. Padley's making him fight, which is good to see. Dare I say, Shakur Stevenson's actually in an entertaining fight. And it's not because of him, it's because the opponent's bringing a fight to him. Oh, good body work by Shakur Stevenson. Padley's game, though. Padley's not going away. I think good work by Stevenson. Anthony Hernandez is always good to watch. He's fighting Brendan Allen. That should be a good one. There's a Turkish dude. What is his? Iblo Ablam, who's pretty good. I think he's going to have a good fight. He's fighting a guy who should strike with him. Kutalabra. There's some good ones. Rob Font is fighting a undefeated prospect who's pretty good. I mean, Henry Cejudo might get knocked out. He's fighting a tough young guy. And he's old. He's undersized. You know, he's got to use his wrestling in this fight. I think I saw reports that Shakur came into this fight with a hand injury. He just landed a punch and grimaced afterward. Then started talking to Padley, probably saying like, "You're not getting paid to fucking win this fight." Yeah, Cejudo. If Cejudo would have just stayed retired, he could have went down as one of the greatest ever. He still will, but he's definitely. Anytime a fighter comes out of retirement or takes too much time off, their record gets tarnished. I'll even use Dominic Cruz as an example. He had injuries and stuff, but those breaks, they never did him justice. He was able to come back and win the championship, but he wasn't the same. And then when he came back again after another break, he wound up getting knocked out. Usually, once you retire and you're done, you don't have that same grit, that same drive. Usually doesn't go good for guys when they come out of retirement. Like GSP came back and beat up Bisping, he wouldn't have beat anybody else. I don't think so. At 185, absolutely not. He would have had trouble with a lot of the bigger guys. Bisping was like the perfect opponent for him. I mean, Padley, I don't think he's winning rounds, but he's making this a fight. He definitely won at least a round. I don't know if he won 2 rounds. I mean, but Cejudo should retire. What if Cejudo wins tonight? Kind of moves himself back into the mix a little bit. Because of name value, Cejudo's always a fight or two away from a title shot. And then there are some big fights still for Cejudo. Like him versus Brandon Moreno, there's a backstory, there's some beef there. Who's the other one? Oh, why am I drawing a blank? There's a couple fights still for Henry Cejudo. Oh, Henry Cejudo versus Sean O'Malley. There's a background. There's some beef there. There's still some fights for him. You know, like him versus, I know Brandon Moreno's a 25-pounder, but if he went up to 35 and those two fought it, there's a pretty big money fight there. And they have a good backstory, some beef. O'Malley, good fight right there. Backstory with some beef. I do. I do bet on combat sports. It's rough. Any betting is rough, but yeah, I dabble. I got a parlay open right now. I'm gonna put a little couple more things in when the MMA fights start. I was saved by that draw. I had Shiraz over Adames, and then Adames won. I thought very clearly, and the judges luckily saved that fight for me. You know, when a fight gets ruled a draw, it just gets voided on your bet. So your winnings will come down a little bit, but you don't lose the bet. You know, I'll bet on hockey. I like betting on hockey. Absolutely hate betting on NBA. I feel like you always lose, get sold. I like betting on baseball. Football was good. Other than the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl, I got sold by Saquon Barkley. I think everyone, though, probably got sold by Saquon Barkley in the Super Bowl. But yeah, I like to dabble on some fights. You know, some instances where I bet kind of like straight up and won some money. I won money on Bilal Muhammad beating Leon Edwards. I won money on Marab beating Sean O'Malley. I won money on Marab beating Nurmagomedov. I feel like Pajeda always finds a way to win. And even Ankalaev. Ankalaev's not some great grappler. He's a good grappler, but he's more of a striker than a grappler. So I imagine he's going to strike enough with Pajeda. And I think Pajeda, people sleep on Pajeda's grappling. Like, what's his name? Glover Teixeira is one of the best grapplers we've seen at 205 or around that weight. Is Ankalaev better than Glover Teixeira on the ground? I don't think so. So I think he's had Glover for years helping him improve his grappling. So I think he's been on the fast track to very improved grappling. But Coley versus Parker should be a good one. That fight's going to be good. I was really looking forward to Dubois, but they took the Dubois fight away from me. Man, though, TikTok stays playing games with you. But yeah, leaning towards Pajeda. I think he's a better grappler than people give him credit for, and just always finds a way to win. Like, who was it? I forget who it was, but someone fucking ripped apart. Was it Blahovic? Ripped apart Ankalaev's legs with kicks. Pajeda's a better kicker. And I've never seen Ankalaev grapple or shoot takedowns where I'm like, oh, he's a killer with his grappling. He's good. Finds him too though. Finds a way to win, but then he has that one draw. He has a loss. I forget who beat him. Paul Craig, I think. You know, 5 rounds too. If you're not taking Pajeda down and submitting him, every round starts on the feet. His takedown defense, I think, is better than people give him credit for. His grappling's better than people give him credit for. It's a live fight. But I say it all the time, it's easier to become champion than it is to stay champion. So, and we've seen it with Pajeda. When you're champion, you get pulled in more directions. So you probably train less. So you're not as prepared as you were on the come up. I know that's been a lot of the speculation right now with Pajeda. Dare I say, this is one of the more entertaining fights that I've seen from what's his name. Shakur Stevenson. Why? Who you leaning towards, Pajeda or Ankalaev? I feel like more people are going to bet Ankalaev, thinking that he's finally facing a grappler. But again, I don't think he's the grappler people think he is, Ankalaev. Like that's the misconception about that fight is people are making it like Ankalaev's Khabib. He's definitely not Khabib or Islam. Man, I could use. I mean, I only put $5 on him, but I could use another corrupt decision here with Padley versus Shakur Stevenson. Hopefully, the Sheik is sick of Stevenson. I hope Alaturk has the same mentality. He's sick of Stevenson, sick of his bullshit fights. Padley's not doing enough though. Looking at those punch stats to steal these rounds though. Stevenson just dropped Padley with a body shot. Padley got up though quick. Stevenson's looking like he's trying to put him away. I'd have to look at it, but this might be the most volume we've seen from Shakur Stevenson. Padley's throwing back at him though. Ooh, good body shot. Another good body shot. He dropped him with another right hook to the body. He's got 50 seconds left to make it out of this round. Stevenson digging to the body, knowing that it's already tender. Shut up, Sean Porter. Ref do his job. Like the ref should stop this fight. Oh no. He dropped him again with a body shot, but no 3 knockdown rule, so he'll make it out. Oh, his corner threw in the towel. Come on. Bullshit. Bullshit. Ah. Shocker. Shakur Stevenson wins by TKO. Still boring fighter. Not very entertaining. And I'm a boxing purist. He's just not entertaining boxing to watch. Oh, what do you mean you can't locate me, guy? So I gotta find the best college basketball games for the evening. Let's see what we're working with. Still boring. Trash. Not an entertaining fighter to watch. But yeah, a few fights fell out. Dubois, Shakur's opponent, original opponent. But yeah, not very entertaining, Shakur Stevenson. Beterbiev. I've never heard his name pronounced like that. I've heard Beterbiev. Never Beterbiev. So Parker versus McCole is up next. This movie looks good. Novocaine. But yeah, I'll pop off and pop back. I gotta check some stuff on my DraftKings. But I'll stay here. I just gotta change on my phone. But yeah, Parker versus Bacol up next. This should be a good one. This was the fight I was most looking forward to, but I was looking forward to Dubois versus Parker. I thought that was gonna be a banger. Bacol versus Parker is up next. Should be a banger. Beterbiev, that fight versus Morel was good. That fight was a banger. Bro, Josh was saying he wanted to step in. Bro, you weren't stepping in. He wasn't stepping in. The AI judge. Let me see. Oh, I don't want that. Akron. Bacol versus Parker is coming up next. Go for that. A vegetarian. This guy looks like he eats fucking cheeseburgers. Oh man, that's rough. So he just got off a plane, taking the fight on short notice. Don't know how well trained he is. Gotta think Joseph Parker makes quick work of Bacoli. But those fights are hard to win. The fights you're supposed to win. The fan vote, they got it 59-41. But I think people are not taking into account that Bacoli did not train for this fight. I thought that he was a backup for these heavyweight fights. That was one thing I heard. Then I heard that he had a fight in May. Then I heard that he didn't train. He came in very heavy. Just flew in this morning. Not looking good for Bacoli. Not looking good. Extra weight, extra power. Also, probably less cardio. What's up, Ripley? I'm good. Nice little Saturday. How are you today, Ripley? Can't complain. Saturday of fights, so that's a good day for me. We're watching the boxing fights right now. We got Parker and Bacol getting announced right now about the scrap. We got some UFC starting at around 6. Beterbiev versus Bivol is supposed to start around 6, so I'll be doing a little double dipping for a little bit. You know, already been banned on TikTok, which happens every time I do anything. So it's a good Saturday. They stay fucking with me. What does XD mean? I don't know what that means. Do I believe in zombies? I don't know. I've never been asked that question. I love zombie movies. Dawn of the Dead, great one. What is the best zombie movie? Is it Resident Evil or what's that movie with Will Smith was a good one? I believe it could happen, sure. I know that people thought that's what was going on when they were eating bath salts in Florida and they were eating people's faces and shit, but yeah, it could happen. Anything's possible if you just believe. I Am Legend. Yeah, that was a good one. When his dog becomes a zombie and he has to choke his dog. What's my opinion on coleslaw? I fuck with coleslaw. A lot of people hate coleslaw. Like they get a burger, they get the coleslaw, they don't eat the coleslaw. I'll eat the coleslaw first. That's like a palate cleanser for me. Man, why'd you have to say coleslaw? I fuck with some coleslaw. If it's good, there's shitty coleslaw, but oh, so you think people who got vaccinated are gonna become zombies? Okay, I think it could happen. Sure. Anything's possible in this world. And I feel like, kind of like if there's been a movie about it, there's been a thought about it, it's probably some realm of reality. Sometimes zero, but maybe one, twice a day. Depends on what you're eating. But I feel like I've had 0 days before. How many times do I poo in a day? Interesting question. I've had days with zero, absolutely. And I've been like, man, that's weird. Then I've had days with like three or four, you know? My dog poops a couple times a day. I mean, I go at least once a day, but yeah, sometimes I've had 0 days. I don't keep track of them. Um, I guess what's weirder than my pooping habits is someone asking me about them. But yeah, Aled, I could be a zombie. I mean, zombies probably shit 0 times a day. You are right in that assessment. Man, but Cole does not look good. He looks very soft. I know he came in very heavy for this fight. But yeah, I fuck up some zombie movies. I love some zombie movies. I watch Dawn of the Dead all the time. When I'm scrolling and I see like and I'm trying to just find a movie to put on for the background, I'll put on Dawn of the Dead. That's a good one. Round one, Bacole Parker. Bacole not moving a lot. Just waiting for Parker to get in range. Both guys are their career high. Yeah, Bacall. I was hoping. I heard one report he was the alternate for this fight. That was disputed. Then I heard that he had a fight coming up in May or April, but he doesn't look like he's in shape. Then I heard varying reports on whether or not he was even training. Then took this fight on 2 days' notice and got there this morning. He flew in this morning, so that's crazy. Yes, I am a part of the Nick Diaz army. Love the Diaz brothers. What's my opinion on the youth, on what the youth are consuming these days? Pussification of America, pussification of the world. I think it's a world full of pussies now. Nobody wants to work. They're all bitches. There's some outliers. There's some kids that are still hard nosed. They get raised right, but I think for the most part, we're dealing with a tough future because a lot of kids are pussies with what they consume today. I disagree, Jason Humphrey. I think John Jones fucks up Tom Aspinall, but it's got to happen soon if he's gonna because the days are passing and Father Time is undefeated. So, but yeah, I love Nick Diaz. I met Nate and a lot of Nate Diaz's team when I went to Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul. Didn't get to meet Nick Diaz. Was in a blunt rotation with BJ Penn, which was a pretty cool moment of my life. BJ Penn was always one of my favorite fighters. He came there to support Nate. I mean, the skibbity toilet shit is great for little kids. I'm fine with that. Like, I know my little nephews like it, but yeah, when you're like a teenager and that's what you're into, yeah. Hopefully, the youth is smart because of all the technology they have, but yeah, I feel like we're dealing with some pussies. But yeah, so I was at the I was friendly with a lot of Nate's team, and I went to his like he had like a little after party ish type thing at the hotel, and I went there, and this one guy who I was kind of talking to all week, like just bumping into him at events, asked me for a lighter, and I'm like, "We smoking?" He's like, "Yeah, we're going with BJ," and he hands my lighter to BJ Penn, and then BJ Penn's like, "Let's go," and I was like, "Oh shit." And I said to my friend Rob, like, let's fucking go. We're about to go outside with BJ Penn. And then everyone lit up their shit, sat there, and I was talking to BJ Penn about how he ran for governor. And I was like, you should run for governor again, bro. Just takes time. A lot of people don't win their first campaign. Yeah, they probably don't use their technology for something productive. They're all using it for bullshit, playing games and, you know, watching stupid shit. Hopefully, there's a handful or a good amount using it for something better. I mean, I think we all have ADHD. That's just anyone born after the TV was invented. Tito should show who how to win. I don't think I never met Tito, but I've talked to Tito a bunch of times. He's a fucking idiot. He's a knucklehead, Tito. Nice guy, but oh yeah. Tito did win an election, right? Like he won like a county election. Didn't win governor though. Governor is a whole different realm. And BJ, you see it now with Conor McGregor. Once you talk about politics, they try to ruin you. Once BJ started getting any type of motion in politics, they really put on like smear campaigns, try to destroy him. It's not obvious who I voted for. I would hope it's obvious who I voted for. I would have voted for BJ Penn if I had lived in Hawaii. Of course. I used to say all the time the greatest politician ever will be one that runs on common sense. And then Trump started using that phrase and I was like, "Oh, that's it right there." I'm good on women, men in women's bathrooms and men in women's sports. That's just the fucking craziest shit I've ever heard of. None of this was issues when I was a little kid. I'm almost 40 now. And I don't remember hearing about any of this type of shit when I was a little kid. When I was a little kid and you were confused about your gender, you had mental health problems. Now it's like, oh no, you're a bigot, you're a racist, you're fuck, something's wrong with you that you're not playing make believe with this person. It's like I'm good on that. Oh, Bacole's wobbled. Bacole's dropped. Parker landed a shot on the temple, a little bit of a delayed reaction from Bacole. Bacole did a wobble. What the fuck, ref? That's terrible. That's terrible. What a terrible stoppage. If they show the camera and his eyes weren't fucking googling in the back of his head, that is a fucking terrible stoppage. That's the second fight tonight. Zhang did it too. Zhang beat the 10 count and the referee stopped the fight. Bacole just beat the 10 count and they stopped the fight. Trash. But my parlay is loving it. My parlay, I had Parker. I was surprised the odds were so close, considering McCauley took this fight on like a day's notice. But yeah, I feel like anyone with a working brain voted for Donald Trump. People that live in make believe land and are a little bit off voted for Kamala. You know, like you have mental health problems if you think that some of the shit that was going on in the country the last few years was normal. Like I don't have a daughter, I have a niece. If a guy dressed as a girl walked into the bathroom with my niece, I'm dragging him out of I'm going into the women's bathroom and I'm dragging that dude out and I'm fucking him up. I'm rooting for Triple C, but it's going to be rough. You know, I said this earlier. I've always been very friendly with. I've partied with Henry before, and I've always been very friendly with his coach, Eric Albarracin, who him too. He catches a lot of flack, but when you get to know the people behind the persona, they're good dudes. Song's big, Song's young, he's skilled, but Henry Cejudo is one of the best. Even though he's old, he's up there in age. That's the issue I have, but hopefully he fights smart. If he stands in front of Song, it might be a rough night for him, but if he mixes in his takedowns, uses his skills. But yeah, let me see this now. I need to see Bacole get up. Did his corner stop it? Did the referee stop it? But yeah, nice shot on the temple, wobbled him. Right on the forehead. And he did a. And then fell. That's how you're beating McCall, though, like that. Give him a training camp, and I don't think he's having that bad of a fight. Joseph Parker versus Martin McCall. McCauley was just the fight now. Now next up is Bivol versus Beterbiev. But they're probably going to have fucking 30 minutes of bullshit before they put that fight on, which sucks. Bivol versus Beterbiev 2. Beterbiev 2. Should be a good one. But McCauley coming in so heavy, that's not good. Short notice, not good. You know, that's a thing that you see in fighting. You got to stay ready at all times because you never know when the opportunity is coming. Everyone wants perfection. They want their 10-week, 12-week camp, but you're not always going to get that. So you got to stay ready. The alternative is you get the opportunity on short notice and you wind up getting fucked up. Punched in the temple and fucked up. Never good. Yeah, I can't say I like that stoppage, though. I'm also a proponent of just bleed. I love the just bleed guy. But yeah, TikTok got me today. You know, I went live with the fights, had a lot of people in the room, had some trolls, started going back and forth with the trolls. The trolls reported me. One of the trolls reported me. It only takes one. Francis versus Wilder. Wilder retired. Would be a great fight if they made it, but and even like I was saying before, we were talking about the pussification of America. Have you ever reported someone? I will never in my fucking life report someone. That's the most bitch thing you could do is be like, you know what? I'm gonna report this guy. I'll show him. I'm gonna report him. You are literally the biggest pussy in the world if that's something you do. Like I was saying before, I've never called the cops in my life. Ever. Ever. Let alone would I ever fucking report to Facebook or TikTok or Twitter or anywhere would I report someone for something I didn't like that they said. That's what Francis is saying. I don't know. I haven't heard that, but as far as I knew, Deontay Wilder retired. So if he is coming out of retirement to fight Francis, I might lean towards Francis. It's never good to come out of retirement. Yeah, people get slapped for shit like that. Exactly. That was my whole goal too. Is I was like, I just want to smoke with the Diaz brothers, and then I probably could have pressed to smoke with Nate. I did at the post-fight press conference. I said to Nate Diaz, I was like, "Where are the blunts at, Nate?" And he was like, "Yeah, where the blunts at? Where the blunts at? Who's got a blunt?" And then it was funny at the open workout. That's what he was screaming too. He was like, "Yo, everybody in the crowd, where the blunts at? Spark them up, bro. Spark up the blunts, bro. Where the blunts at?" And then yeah, I don't know if you've ever like been to the South or gone anywhere when you start doing an accent. I started talking and I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop talking like a Diaz brother. I was like, nah, fuck that. Nah, fuck that. I'm not gonna listen to this fucking guy because I'm already doing this shit, alright? Fuck that. Like, nah, where the blunts at, bro? And then I was like, holy shit, I'm going to start talking like this in front of them. And they're either going to be like, I like the way this guy talks. Or they're going to be like, nah, fuck that kid up. He's talking like me. Nah, fuck that. You know, I always think of when he was like, I'm not like those other guys you punked at the press conference. Nah, fuck that. But yeah, me and my friend that I went to the fights with couldn't stop saying that. Fuck that. Nah, fuck that. And then, yeah, at the post fight presser, I was like, Nate, where the blunts at? And he went, yeah, where the blunts at? Sharp, quick turn. And then he started talking to his team, like, yeah, you guys got to roll something up, man. But yeah, I've always been a Diaz fan, both brothers. I look like a young Michael from GTA. I think I could take that as a compliment. Yeah, so even that, funny story. Those kids at that press conference who were like, Nate, you claim you're a bad motherfucker, but you're a vegan. Those kids were sitting next to me at that press conference, and I forget what question I asked. I asked a question about is Nick coming to the fight? Is Nick gonna be in his corner? And I asked him about his weed strain, and then I asked Masvidal if he wants to fight Conor McGregor or a shot at the title. And those kids then asked me, like, yo, what do we do? Like, how do we do it? I was like, you guys just got to go for it. Like, you guys got to raise your hand, ask for the mic, and just go for it. And that led to those kids asking that question. And being a kid like Ray was like this, like this. I was like, yeah. Get the mic to this kid over here. And they gave that kid the mic. And then he was like, Nate, you claim you're a bad motherfucker, but you're a vegan. And he was like, Terminator's a fucking vegan, bro. Fuck you. Nah, fuck that. The Terminator's a vegan, bro. Someone else they just said. Who else did I just hear was a fucking vegan though? Oh, Bacoli was a vegan, but it didn't work out for him. Or a vegetarian. Michael from GTA 5. GTA is such a great game. Love that game. Haven't played it in so long, but absolutely love that game. At least I don't look like Trevor, so I appreciate you saying that. People in the chat earlier were calling me fucking Ben Affleck. And then I told a story how one time when I was in Rhode Island, I met some Spanish girl at the casino and I started hanging out with the Spanish girl and she used to always like rub my hair and be like, you're like my Ben. You're on my Ben. And I'd be like, what the fuck did you just say? My Ben. You're like my Ben and I am J-Lo. You're like my Ben. But I've been called Ben Affleck before. Never been called Michael from GTA. But yeah, I always wanted to go to Stockton. You know, I fell off now with injuries and whatnot, but back in the day, I would have went and I would have gave those guys some work. How long Sahut? What's up, Steeler Nation? How long Cejudo been off? He hasn't been off that long. He just fought Marab, but his ego completely crashed in that Marab fight because Marab picked him up like a baby and carried him across the cage. I feel like Cage Rush showed against Aljamain, and then Marab surprised him. Yeah, Cejudo retiring in his prime. He was trying to hold the UFC up for money, and they were like, "No, you can retire. You're good. You can retire." He thought that would go different. Like they'd be like, "Nah, give me money. Like we'll give you money. We need you to stay." They didn't give a fuck about him. It was also the manner in which he did it. The fact that he retired like that, Dana White got pissed. Dana White was pissed at him for a while. And then even when, if you remember, he was trying to come back for a while and trying to get right into a title shot, and Dana White was like, nope, not going to happen. It took Ali Abdelaziz, who gets a lot of flack but is actually a really good manager, doing a lot of politicking to get Cejudo to come back and get Aljamain in his first fight back. They wanted him to come back and fight like up-and-comers. They weren't going to give him a title shot. But anytime a fighter has ever tried to hold Dana up for more money, it doesn't go well. That's what we're seeing go on with John Jones right now. That's what we saw when John Jones left for 3 years and everyone was like, oh, it's Francis. It wasn't Francis. It was money. If you negotiate in public with the UFC, they do not like you. They fucking hate you. Dana White hates you. Cejudo retiring tried to negotiate in public, so Dana White was like, "You're good. You're done. You don't need to come back. You can come back. You could fight for the old money on your old contract. We're not paying you more money. Can't negotiate in public." I haven't heard anything on GTA 6 other than I keep seeing videos of Aiden Ross saying how he's going to make a server where you can make money in real life, which would be pretty dope. I think 5 was one of the greatest games of all time, so I could see 6 being better, but I feel like the problem with those games, they put so much into those games that they take so long to finally come out. Hopefully the end of May. I haven't heard anything as far as a release date or anything like that, though. I think, though, we've seen with video games, technology is always advancing, so I'm sure GTA 6 will be the greatest game ever. It's crazy. Tonight, we saw the Turk Al-Sheikh guy. They definitely had one corrupt fight on this card. The Adames Shihaz fight, whatever his name is. That fight should have went to Adames, and they ruled it a draw. No way should that fight have been a draw. That's the one thing I worry about with this guy being involved in boxing is he's going to put these fights on the Turk, His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh. He's going to put on these fights and throw money to get these fights put on, but there's going to be some type of corruption. Whoever he's rooting for is probably going to win or get a draw, or there'll be some fishy shit going on. And that's just is what it is. Power will always breed corruption. We've seen it every which way, always in sports. We'll never not see it. So now, let's see what he says. I mean, he says Canelo versus. He says Canelo versus. What's his name is happening. Who's Bam Bam? Joseph Parker? Yeah, Joseph Parker won by knockout. Yeah, UFC should be on at the top of the hour. I'm going to watch Bivol versus Beterbiev as well as the start of the UFC. And then completely jump onto some UFC. Yeah, Bacoli was fat. He wasn't in shape for this fight. And got caught with a punch on the temple. And did one of those and fell. And then he beat the 8 count, but the referee stopped the fight on some bullshit. I hate nothing more than when a referee stops a fight like that. The Zhang fight earlier too. He beat the 10 count, but the referee stopped the fight. Two schools of thought with that. Yeah, you're protecting the fighter or that bullshit, but they don't need you to help them. They don't need your protection. Oh, they're too tough for their own good. They don't need you to help them. The early prelim's going to be interesting with that one specific fight. Paige Van Zandt. Yeah. Austin's the man, bro. I've hung out with Austin before. I've interviewed him. I hung out with him one night in Fort Lauderdale. I've always bumped into him at some fights. He's a good dude. Him and Paige are good people. But he's taking this fight on short notice. He was a small 185er, and he was able to win fights and hang at 185, so now he's at 170. But my question for him is short notice. How much time did he have before this fight? How ready is he going to be for this fight? That's always the question when you see a guy take a fight on short notice. What were they doing before they took this fight. He usually stays training year round, but there's a different intensity between staying in shape and getting ready for a fight, especially his style. If he's going to be wrestling, how's his cardio going to look? But yeah, I'm definitely into that fight. I hope he wins. You know, I've been saying it for a minute. I want to get back into interviewing people. I'm waiting for cards like I should have, but I didn't. I was going to hit up Jared Cannonier. I haven't hit him up yet. I was going to hit up Cejudo, Eric Alvarezine. I didn't hit him up. Just slacking, but he's another guy, Vanderford. If he wins, I'll hit him up, maybe, and be like, yo, let me grab you for a quick little interview. But yeah, he's a bro, Austin Vanderford. He's like one of the bros. Plays video games. I don't know if we talked about him smoking weed, but definitely a chill dude. But yeah, I was talking earlier. I feel like I can't read that. I apologize. Is that Japanese or Russian? But this whole card's pretty good. I think there's some sleeper fights on here. I think the Rob Font fight versus that undefeated guy is good. I think Brendan Allen versus, if you could translate it, I could read it. I think Brendan Allen versus Fluffy rematch would be good. I think Song versus Cejudo is going to be good. This is what I hate though about boxing sometimes is they're gonna kill a half hour now. They're just gonna fill a half hour with bullshit till the fighters make the walk. Yeah, it's a good card. Where UFC or I've seen even other boxing events, they kind of give you a window of when your fight's gonna be. Like I feel like they said 6 o'clock. Beterbiev and Bivol are not walking before 6 o'clock. Thank you, chill dude. You know I got to clean it up. Right now it's a little scrappy. You know I got a good barber. I haven't been to him in a minute. Usually he lines me up nice. I'm decent when I do it myself, but not as good as a barber. You know, I don't know what your facial hair looks like, but there's nothing better than. I can't read that. I apologize. There's nothing better than a nice cut after a barber. The feeling of going to the barber and getting your shit lined up. Is that Russian? Well, what is that? But yeah, let's jump on and see what that UFC card looks like. Austin took a tough fight too. That dude's tough. Russian. I am a big Fedor Emelianenko fan. Always loved Fedor. I'm looking forward to that Vanderfort fight. I always don't mind watching Andre Fili. I'm looking forward to Kutalaba versus Aslan. I feel like Aslan's going to surprise people in that one. Julius Walker versus Menifield's an interesting fight. I know Walker was a D1 basketball player, if I'm not mistaken. Gene Silva's always good to watch. Rob Font versus Gene Masamoto. This is if Masamoto wins, Masamoto breaks the top 10, enters the rankings by beating Rob Font. The problem with Rob Font is he's up there in age. Yeah. I had a woman barber when I was a kid. It happens. I used to go get my hair cut with my grandma when I was a little kid. By a hot chick, though. She was hot. I remember she was hot. When I was little, I used to let women barbers work on my hair always and look like a fool until I met a real barber. Yeah, that's a big thing, too, that you said that. I tip my people are always like, why do you tip your bar? I don't tip them crazy. I tip them fucking 20 bucks, 30 bucks. But people are always like, why do you tip so much? I'm like, so that way I have access to my barber when I need him. He knows, like, that he's getting a good tip. He takes care of you, you take care of him type shit. But yeah, I had one barber who was my barber for years. It was a kid I used to train with's brother, and he was mint. But then he went fucking crazy. And I like ran back to Dominican Republic and shit. And then I had to find a new barber. And I had a shitty barber for years who was like a friend. And then he was a fucking douchebag. He actually used to like. So he used to fuck my hair up. And I used to say like, oh no, hold on right here. Like you fucked up a little bit here. Like you got to fix right here. And you got to fix right here. And oh, you got to fix over here. And he used to get pissy about it and be like, and then fix it. And I'd be like, bro, I'm fucking paying you. If I notice that it's fucked up, someone else is going to notice it's fucked up. And then he told like mutual friends of ours, like, oh, Stanley's always bitching about his haircut. I have to, and he's like, sometimes I go, and I make the buzzer noise, and I don't even buzz his hair. And I was like, you guys really think I'm that fucking stupid that he makes the buzzer noise and doesn't fix the fuck ups? He fixes the fuck ups, and then we have like a little fucking back and forth. And then I told the guy, I'm like, you're a bitch. You're never cutting my hair again. Like, fuck you. And I went to this guy for like 10 years, but then I found out he was like talking shit. And it was simply because I used to call him out on his fuck ups. He was one of those barbers too where I almost got too familiar with him, where he'd start and then we'd talk and he'd stop to like start talking with his hands and shit. And I'd be sitting there like, bro, just fucking cut my hair as you talk. He would always stop, and then it just got to a point where the haircuts really went downhill. There were always fuck ups. He'd show me the mirror, and I'd be like, yeah, right here, you got to get that. Like, you got to fix that line. Like, it's higher here, or like right here. Like, what'd you do? You got to take off this. You see this hair? And he would always be like, as if I'm bothering him or harassing or doing something to him. Like, it's like, bro, you're my barber. Do you want a good tip or not? Cut my hair good. And it's like animosity slowly started building. And then when I heard that he said that shit to one of my friends, like, oh no, sometimes I go over his hair and I just make the buzzer noise. Like he tried to make it like I'm a goofball where he goes, Nyeh. It's like, no. I will drag you out of your fucking barbershop, bro. That shit gets me animated still to this day. And I haven't seen the guy in like 10 years. Then I actually, at one point, if you look up, I don't know what channel. Oh, on this channel, there's like a Joanna Joan Jacek interview and a Kayla Harrison interview. At one point, I had grown my hair out really long, and it was because of a fallout with my barber. And then I couldn't find a good barber. And I used to go to barbers and get like, I used to tie it up and get like touch-ups, tape-ups a little bit, and I could never find a good barber. Then when I was living in Florida, I found a good barber. He cut my hair twice, and I was like, yo, I got the barber. I finally found a good barber. The guy got killed in a fucking drive-by. They like drove by. He was like, I guess, a gangbanger. They drove by his barbershop and shot up his barbershop and killed him. And I was like, right when I find a good fucking barber, bro. And then years of struggling to get a good barber. And then I finally found a good barber where I live in upstate New York. You know, you can't see it now because my shit's been grown in a little bit. But when I get a new haircut, you see it's pretty good. It's a good fade. Yeah, the guy was a good dude too. He was like a friend. He was like an older dude, but he was friends with my little cousin and stuff. And he was a good barber. But yeah, he got gunned down at his barbershop. Fucked up. He was obviously into some shit though, some drug shit or something that for them to come to his barbershop and fucking shoot up his shit. But guy cut really good hair. Like I went through a lot of bad haircuts, and then I finally got a good haircut, and I was like, yep, that's my guy. That shit's tight. Like I remember even at one point, I went to a barber. My cousin sent me to a barber. I went to the barber, and he cut my hair and put it up on his Instagram. And it was the worst fucking haircut ever. I had like lines here, a fucking crooked line here. Worst fucking haircut ever. And the kid put it up on his Instagram. And people started flaming him in the comments like, bro, you fucked this kid's hair up. It was me. I was the person whose hair got fucked up. And it had a bunch of comments about how he fucked my hair up. And I was like, unbelievable. Like, how the fuck did this happen? And then luckily, eventually found a good barber. Barber's everything, bro. Barber's like a therapist. Whatever you would have it. They make you look good. They make you feel good. You look good, feel good. But yeah, bad barber will fuck your shit up. Fuck your whole day up. But shout out to Bello the Barber. That's my barber's name now. If you're ever in upstate New York, look up Bello the Barber. He's good. But yeah, they're aiming for exactly 6 o'clock. So it's 5:53 where I'm at. They got Bivol walking out right now. Bivol just entered the ring. They got the UFC popping off at 6. First fight is Modestas Bukakis versus Rafael Sariqua. I forget which one fought Ibo Iblon last time, but he's good. He just ran into Ubo Iblon. Oh, Rafael Sariqua, the undefeated guy. Was undefeated when he fought Ibo. But yeah, I feel like that guy's getting slept on too. So people are picking Bivol 61-39. I got Bivol. We'll see what happens here. I didn't realize that Beterbiev is 40. 40, I think, is a tough age to be competing at the top of the division. I keep seeing a lot of talk made about his turnaround, that this is like the quickest turnaround that he's done. I feel like that's always a good thing when you have a quick turnaround because you kind of stay in shape. But we will see. Man, though, they still haven't acknowledged my appeal. I hate that shit. What is his name? Bruce Buffer's in the ring right now doing his job, getting us ready. Yeah, maybe I'll go. What time we got? 5:56. We got Bivol versus Beterbiev about to start. We got Bruce, what is that? Michael Buffer doing his job, getting us ready. So now, gotta think this fight's probably going to a decision. Who does Turkey Alashay want to win? That's the question. That's the real question. Who does he want to win? Because that's who the judges are scoring this fight for. Otherwise, off with their fucking head. Thrown into a hole and whipped. Stop barking at me, Joe. Shut up. Come here. Stop. Crazy bitch. What are you barking at? Pipe down, Joe. Pipe down, LJ. You got anything to say? Nothing? So the crowd seems like it's pro Bivol. Seems like it's very pro Bivol. So I like the 21-0. I don't like the 40 years old. That's tough. I don't see a lot of 40-year-olds winning fights. Not a good age to fight. Other than, wait, we did just see Jared Cannonier, though. But that's the outliers. Round one, about to start. I feel like the first fight was close enough. Couple of minor adjustments by Bivol. He should be able to take this. Starts with Beterbiev pushing Bivol back a little bit. Both guys exchanging jabs. Nothing significant. First 30 seconds in. Nothing but jabs from both guys so far. There's a right hand to the body for Beterbiev. I think we see it a lot. One of the most effective things in boxing is to go to the body. Set up your headshots as well as zap your guys' cardio. I mean, it's a 50-50 round so far. I'm leaning towards Beterbiev. He's been backing Bivol up. Good jab by Bivol. There's a good right hand by Bivol. Little left hook by Bivol. Good right hand by Beterbiev. Get out. Go. 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 I'm going to give that first round to Beterbiev. 10-9. Stop. Good right hand by Beterbiev. Joe, you got to stop. Live odds right now, they have Bivol plus 100. Beterbiev minus 125. Joe, you got to stop. You got to stop. If you want to get out, you can get out. That's it. I don't want you to sit and bark at me. Good right hand by Bivol. But he's on the outside. Good left hook for Beterbiev. It's tough to win a fight just moving around on the outside. Good jab by Beterbiev. Good right hand by Beterbiev. Little right hand by Bivol. Good body work by Beterbiev. Close first round, though. Close second round. Excuse me. I'll call it 1-1. Let's call it 1-1. They're scoring. They have it 2-0 Bivol. I thought Beterbiev won the first round. Close. Could go either way. Both of those rounds. Depending on where you're sitting. What you're scoring. Good right hand by Bivol. Good right hand by Beterbiev. It is a good combo. Mostly on the guard, but one or two of those got through for Bivol. Good right hand to the body by Beterbiev. Backing Bivol up with his jab. Oh, good uppercut by Bivol. Good left hook by Bivol. A little bit of bruising on the forehead of Beterbiev. Bivol definitely landing the cleaner shots here in the third. Both guys doing a good job with their guard, but there's a right hand that got through for Bivol. Ooh, good body shots from Beterbiev. Good right hand to the body for Bivol. Ooh, good left hook lands for Bivol. I'm going to go Bivol. Call it 2-1. Bivol at the moment. Tage Thompson, my man. You know, like this, for me, I'm a diehard fight fan. This shit's heaven for me. I got the boxing, I got the MMA. I know there's some Glory Kickboxing that was on today. They had one championship the other day. Oh, I was gutted to see Ong Lasong get KO'd with a head kick. He's a good dude. Beterbiev's coming out fast this fourth round. We got Bukakis versus Sequeira about to start. First fight of the UFC Seattle card. Beterbiev and Bivol. Round 4. Oh, good left hook by Beterbiev. This has been a better fourth round for him. This first fight, I'm gonna go Rafael Sequeira in the UFC. Beterbiev's having a good round right now. Let's call that 2-2. I'm gonna go with Beterbiev for that fourth. We'll call it 2-2. Round 5. Good body work by Beterbiev. Oh, never mind. Sequeira just got knocked out by Bukakis. He was doing good right up until he got knocked out. Bukakis. Not Bukakis. I apologize. Ooh, good right hand by Beterbiev. Beterbiev's taking this fight over, like the announcer just said. He's definitely doing work right now. 3-2. Fucking up my parlay, Bivol. Bivol's showing it on his face. Eating right hands. His face is all fucked up right now. But yeah, I got Beterbiev 3-2. We're in round 6. Oh, good right hand, followed by a left hook for Bivol. Beterbiev backs him up with a right hand. I mean, Beterbiev's making Bivol work. Bivol's been on the back foot this whole fight. Not sticking and moving, nothing, just being pressured. This is definitely a better round for Bivol, but he's been getting backed up the whole round. Ooh, there's a good right hand by Bivol. I'd have to think if there is corruption in this fight, they're going to go for Bivol in these close rounds simply because he has a longer future. Ooh, good right hand for Beterbiev. Close round. Close round. That round's tough. I'm going to go Beterbiev. I feel like he landed the more damaging shots. So let's call it 4-2 right now. So yeah, the judges have it same as I do, 4-2. But I had Bivol win in the third, Beterbiev win in the first. But yeah, 4-2 right now. Beterbiev. Dare I say I could use a shitty decision in this one though too. I bet Bivol. It's tough to win a fight going backwards. And Bivol's been on his back foot this whole fight. No clinching in this fight. I mean, Beterbiev, round 7, slowing down a little bit. But Bivol's not capitalizing on it. Like, this is the first time I've seen where he's not on the back foot, but he's not letting his hands go and taking advantage of Beterbiev slowing down. Love me some Charlie Arnold. I would definitely throw some sticks at Charlie Arnold. Good right hand to the body, left hook upstairs for Bivol. Good right hand for Bivol on the break. Who the fuck is Mike Tomlin? Is Mike Tomlin a coach? I'm going to say maybe Bivol that round. Let's call it 4-3. Oh, you're trolling the Steelers guy? Yeah, I don't know. I know football. I don't really know the Steelers. They don't have players that I would bet on. Back in the day, maybe they had a good team. The Ben Roethlisberger years. That's funny that you just came in here though to troll somebody and talk about how their football team has a shitty head coach. I'm a Jets fan, unfortunately, so I can't really talk about football like that. I did like the Bills this year. Was rooting for them till the referees got involved. Round 8, I got a 4-3. Beterbiev. My parlay needs Bivol. Good right hand by Bivol. But yeah, definitely a tiring pace for both guys. Bivol constantly going backwards. Beterbiev going forwards. That last round was, I saw Beterbiev slow down a little bit, but Bivol didn't really capitalize on it. Now we're back to what was going on most of the fight, which is Beterbiev stalking and Bivol fighting off his back foot. Little right hand, left hook on the guard there for Bivol. I mean, Bivol's winning the jab battle, but is he winning the punch battle? Good right hand for Bivol. There's a better round for Bivol here. Beterbiev has slowed down now. It seems like that first minute and a half of the round, he was moving in. First minute of the round, now he's slowing down this second minute of the round. Giving Bivol the chance to stand his ground a little bit more. But again now, Bivol's not capitalizing. Good right hand by Beterbiev. A couple of jabs from Bivol. A lot of jabbing from Bivol. Ooh, good left hook for Bivol. We got Eric Makoniko versus Nurulstan Ruzbivov on the UFC. Makoniko from the MMA lab, but took the fight on short notice. Ooh, good right hand for Beterbiev. Close round. Close round. It's either... I think I'm going to go Bivol that round, so I'll call it 4-4. But it could be 5-3 Beterbiev. Couple of close rounds. And we've seen from the earlier fights, there is some sketchy judging on this card. But yeah, Bivol did some work that round. So let's call it 4-4. Let's say 4-4 going into round 9. Good body shot by Beterbiev. Another good body shot by Beterbiev. Bivol answers, stands his ground and answers back with a right hand. Another right hand. So yeah, they have this fight, same as me, 4-4. Tied through 8 rounds, going into round 9. Good right hand to the body, left hook upstairs for Bivol. Couple good jabs from Bivol. And now Bivol's kind of taking off. I had a good start to the round. I was just moving. Letting Beterbiev get back in it. Yeah, Beterbiev definitely gassed himself out a little bit, stalking early on. Ooh, good left hook, right hand by Bivol. Good round so far for Bivol. It's just going to come down to how these judges score in the close rounds. They're all been close rounds, but the really close rounds. Some of them were a little bit more one-sided, but still close depending on how you're scoring it. What you score, volume or damage. Ooh, good right hand by Beterbiev. Bivol answers back. with a good right hand of his own. Left hook for Bivol. Some good work right there by Bivol. Landing punches and then circling out. Landing punches, circling out. Catching Bivol while Bivol's trying to take a little bit of time off. Or catching Beterbiev, I apologize. Good round for Bivol here. Ooh, good right hand to the body for Beterbiev. Let's call it 5-4. Bivol. Five-four Bivol right now. Nice work there by Bivol that last round. So coming out round 10. Round 10. You got a 5-4 Bivol. Couple big swings and misses by Beterbiev. So it's Beterbiev early. Bivol's coming on late. Another fight. Going to be interesting to see the scorecards. Once Beterbiev slowed down, Bivol was able to take this fight over. This is a better round here for Beterbiev. So far, the first minute and 30. Now Bivol's coming back. It's going to come down to this last minute for this 10th round. Ooh. McConnico is about to get knocked out in the UFC. Yeah, he's done. Beterbiev might have caught his second wind a little bit here. He looks like he's moving better, but as I say that, he gets hit with a punch by Bivol. Close round. That round, they both won a minute and a half of the round. Let's call it Bivol. He's got the momentum. He finished that round stronger. It was close. Let's call it 6-4. Bivol. 6-4 Bivol right now. Started doing some good body work right there. Good work up top. Round 11. I got Bivol up 2 rounds right now. Close fight. Close rounds. Yeah, this fight's going to come down to what are the judges scoring? What are the judges watching? Punches, they have Bivol 138 out of 450, Beterbiev 107 out of 578. So Beterbiev's throwing a lot more. So volume is on his side. Ooh, good right hand for Bivol. You know, I know at the amateur ranks they score volume. This is a professional fight, so they should be scoring what lands. But if they're scoring volume, it's Beterbiev. Good jab for Beterbiev. Back and Bivol up. Ooh, good left hook for Bivol. Good volume by Bivol at the end of the round, but then he eats a right hand. That little flurry. Ooh, good right hand for Bivol. Eddie Hearn's ringside going nuts. Let's call this round for Bivol. 7-4. Beterbiev's going to need some help from the judges and or a knockout. Really, Akron? What the fuck? How is that even possible? Akron is round 12. Where the fuck is Akron? 21-5, losing the 14-12. Fuck you. Good left hook by Bivol. Beterbiev's trying, though. He's backing Bivol up. Right now, the live odds, Dimitri Bivol is minus 800. Beterbiev is plus 500. I believe up next is the Austin Vanderford fight. Well, we got what's looking like 7-4 for Bivol over here. Beterbiev's probably winning this 12th round so far. Good right hand by Beterbiev. Both guys looking very fatigued. Very energy exerting fight so far. Ooh, good right hand for Bivol. Bivol's on his bicycle right now. Looks like he got hurt. He's firing back, though. 30 seconds left. This last round is looking like Beterbiev's so far. Ooh, good left hook for Bivol. Bivol's cut now. I think this fight is Bivol's, but it's close enough. End of the fight. Let's see what the judges got. Let's see what we got. Oh, they're taking a minute to get this decision out. You know what that means. Would not be surprised if this is a split decision, whichever way it's going. There were some close rounds in there. Definitely were some close rounds in there. It's volume versus what you could see land. Come on, Akron, really? I need Bivol. A draw. 114, 114. Dimitri Bivol by majority decision. One judge had it a draw. Other judge had it 115, 113. And was it 116, 114, I think? Close fight. Very close fight. I thought Bivol won. He did wind up winning, getting the decision. I thought he won by 3 rounds. Close fight, though. Close fight. So, nice win for Bivol. I'm going to hop off, restart with some UFC. We got Austin Vanderfort coming out. So, hop back on. When I hop back on, I should be live again in a minute. I'm just going to switch the titles to UFC. But thank you for those who joined me. Bivol wins by unanimous or majority decision. Parker wins by knockout. Definitely a good card. Great fights. Now going to the UFC. Hopefully the UFC is a banger tonight. Well, see you later.